Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sarmad Masood, and today I'm going to make a video about how to submit VAT return online. Recently, I opened my government gateway account and I saw my VAT return due by 7th of January 2021 for the period of between October and November, starting from 1st of October ending to 30th of November. So I thought I should make a video how to submit VAT return for people who are new to this business and do not know how to submit it. Let's get started with that. So what happened in that period from October and November, I had zero sales basically, and which means that I did not have my output tax. So let me explain these output and input tax terms first of all. So output tax is tax on sales, which is 20%. Input tax is tax on purchases, and that not only includes the goods you have sold, but also some other things like, for example, furniture or laptop or any other supplementary purchases you have done throughout the period. So tax on purchases, which is also 20%. And what you pay to or receive from HMRC is the difference of above. So difference of output and input tax. So that's the basic understanding of how the VAT is done. If you have more output tax, which is generally you have more output tax in comparison to the input tax, you pay the difference to HMRC. And if in any case where output tax is less than the input tax, then you'll most probably get a claim back of the amount. So that was a little understanding on that one. So next point is, so when I come back to I've prepared this file where you can see there are products 1 and 2 I have on my Amazon inventory. I had about zero sales. There was no sales in that period as I registered my VAT early on when I started this business. However, on the purchase side, there was also no VAT since the brand I bought the product from was a very small brand and they were not VAT registered. The BSR was quite good though, so which made me to make a decision to buy them. So other expenses, I've gone through the other expenses. There was a one FPA fee which was about £30, and the VAT on that was 5%, £5, which I paid. And then I bought a small cable which cost about $7.99 from Amazon, and the VAT on that was 1.33. So basically what happened was that I had two of these expenses which were VAT purchases, which had VAT included in that. So that's how I've calculated these two purchase VATs. I mean, I know for a period of 2 months, that's a very small amount of business I've done, but for the sake of this video and for the sake of understanding, I think that could be quite, for a start, it would be a good baseline for anyone to understand how things work. Here at the bottom, I've taken a sales dashboard snapshot to get an understanding how much I sold. But as you can see, this is from 1st of October to 30th of November. I've put a custom filter on and I had no sales basically, so there's no output tax I need to calculate or need to pay on anything. On the other side, there's another screenshot. I took it from my bank statement between 1st of October and 30th of November. Most of these expenses were paid outside UK, some of them from US. So for example, this one is my website. I think I bought theme from a website, so that's how much I paid, and that was the exchange rate. And then there were some other fees as well which did not include VAT on that. So I didn't have any VAT invoices for them, or the expense, the nature of expense itself was not VAT dependent. So all in all, even my inventory was exclusive, well, did not have a VAT on it. So which means that there was only two transactions, which is the £30 and £7.99, which had VAT on. There was no sales, so there's no nothing that came in really. And yeah, so pretty much only two transactions. But yeah, that's how the snapshot works on this sales dashboard. How do you get it? You basically go on your seller central. So you put on reports, you click on business reports, and then it brings up this dashboard. Here you can put a custom filter on to select the date you want to look at. Okay, so that's how is this one. The bank statement is fairly straightforward. You can go log into your bank and get all the details for the respective period as well. Similarly, if you have keep a copy of all the invoices of the payments you have made, and from where you can from there you can then deduct or collect the amount of VAT that you need to be paid, that needs to be reclaimed, sorry. So going back to so what do we do now? I will go to Gov UK sign in. So clicking on there and then signing in there. That's my government ID. And then now I've logged in. Now I'm down here and then complete VAT return. So you go and complete VAT return, you go and click on submit a return, and then clicking on next. So as you can see, this period 11 still available. The status is open. When I click on the open, it brings me here, which say that is period 11 and period 11/20, date from, date to, and the due date. So now these got like 8 boxes here. The first one is VAT due in the period on sales and other output. So I do not have any sales and other output, so I can say it's 0 on that. I mean, if you have, for example, sales of £1,000 and you got 20% tax, you can put 200 here. So which means that the 200 is your VAT due on in this period on sales and other outputs. The next one is VAT due in this period on acquisition from EC member states. So anyone who have bought stuff from European Union and European countries, when it comes into UK, you have to pay 20% tax on top of that. And so yeah, if you are importing anything, you basically have to pay purchase or input tax on that. You need to include that figure here. For me, that was not the case, so I'm just putting 0 here. And so this third box is the calculated value, which will calculate it automatically. The next box says VAT reclaimed in this period on purchase and other inputs. So on purchases and other inputs, you can see that here I've calculated it. The total input tax I'm claiming is 6.33. So I'm going to put 6.33 here. So, and then it will calculate this box 5 will automatically calculate the difference between these two. And then total value of sales and other or output excluding any VAT. So what you need to do is any total value of sales you need to calculate, but I had no sales basically in that period, so I'm going to put 0 on that. And then next is total value of purchases and all inputs excluding any VAT. So the purchases I made excluding any VAT, excluding this VAT number here, are again calculated here. So I've got prepared this file where 30 was the fee, £5 was the VAT, 25 was excluding VAT. Similarly, 7.99 was the price of the cable, 1.33 was VAT on it, and the remaining is 6.66. So so the sum of both is 31.66. I'm going to put it as 32 simply because it's a whole pound numbers. You don't have to go in decimals there. And similarly, going to the next box 8, total value of all supplies of goods and related costs excluding any VAT to other EC member states. I did not make any sales to EC members, so it's again 0. So total value of all acquisition of goods and related costs excluding a VAT from EC member states. Again, I did not acquire any. I mean, all the cost I had was from US. There were some US companies that those expenditures related to. So basically, there was no import from European Union or European countries, on top of which I had to pay any taxes on any stuff. So again, this is zero. So that's all in all is my return for these 2 months. I know it's not a great deal of numbers, but the principle it will remain same. So that you basically need to put the VAT number here for your sales, and if there's any acquisition from other European countries, you do the same, and remaining all the boxes as well. So once you have done all of that, you need to click next on that. So now since usually the case is that your sales or output tax are more than input tax, and you end up paying to HMRC rather than getting it from them. So what happens is that that is a normal case, but in my case I have had no sales and I had a little amount of input tax to claim back on, which is why then this window is saying that you are making a claim for repayment of VAT. Customers new to filing VAT returns sometimes make a repayment claim in error. So they're saying that you basically have more purchases than sales and you're trying to claim back from HMRC. So please check these 3 things. First of all, that by claiming input tax on goods bought before registration but no longer on hand, meaning that you have bought those goods which are before the registration. But in my case, I've got bank statements to support and invoices to support that. So, and that they was during this period and not before, so I can pretty much claim this amount. Similarly, next point is by claiming input tax on services bought more than 6 months before registration. So if there are any services you have you've paid VAT on 6 months before registration, you cannot claim them here. Similarly, by confusing sales and purchases, so getting boxes 3 and 4 on the return the wrong way around. Basically, you putting the input tax in output tax on and output tax in the input tax field. New people can make mistakes. However, in my case, it's pretty genuine, and that needs to be. So that's how it is. It needs to be. It needs to be like that basically. So what happens is you can see there's a summary of that, and then there's a declaration down there, and now I'm ready to submit that, which I'm going to do, and I've submitted it. And then they're again asking for government gateway details, which I'm doing it, and now it's taking some time. Okay, so your VAT return has been successfully submitted. Net VAT to be paid to HMRC or reclaimed by is 6.33. So there is a prepayment return, no payment is due. So basically what happens is that we do not have any payments to be made. However, this will be reclaimed back, and now here we can download all the VAT return we've made. We can save it somewhere, and then that's pretty much it from our side that we have done. So thanks very much for watching. Any questions, concerns, queries, please let me know. Have a good day.